Arizona. This is breaking coming out of the Cardinals organization and their star quarterback, Kyler Murray. Mize, I know you have all the details regarding this situation.
Well, Nick, if you scroll over to Kyler Murray's Twitter account right now, what you won't find is any mention of the Arizona Cardinals in his tagline or any pictures or anything dating back over the past month. Everything has been scrubbed clean. That is the big news out of Arizona and with Kyler Murray. And the question this proposes is, what does that mean exactly? We've seen many of players do cryptic social media messages. The one I think of the most is Stephon Diggs. He always does some crazy stuff, especially when he was with the Vikings. He would just do crazy stuff that would make you say, what is going on? So what is going on? What has gotten us here? Well, if we analyze the situation here, Kyler Murray, coming off the third year of his potential 5-year rookie deal, he's done some good stuff. And I feel that Murray has asked for a contract extension, a Patrick Mahomes-esque contract extension, and the Cardinals have said nay. What does this lead to, though, Nick? I mean, do you have any idea of, do you think Murray has been led to ask for a contract extension by anyone or anything like that?
Yeah, so I think you're 100% correct here. I think after the season ended and the way it went with Murray generally playing very well and the Cardinals making the playoffs, Murray went to management and said, hey, I'm at the end of year 3. I know guys like Josh Allen, you brought up Mahomes, those kind of guys get their contract extensions or get those talks going now. I want to get those talks going now. I want to get a nice big long-term deal on the books. The Cardinals, most likely, like you said, nah, we're not ready for that right now. You keep doing you, but we're not talking that contract right now. So Kyler Murray then understandably was frustrated, but, he just said, okay, well, we'll see how it plays out. Then he goes to the Pro Bowl and he talks to Russell Wilson and he talks to Kirk Cousins and he talks to the other veteran players that are in the Pro Bowl. And he probably relays this information to those guys. And those guys tell Kyler Murray, look, man, they're not treating you right. They could get this done right now if they wanted to. And by rejecting you outright, they are treating you very, very poorly, and they don't respect you at all. And right now, we are seeing a response from Kyler Murray, and this looks like a threat that he may want out of Arizona.
Yeah, those guys are most likely listen, been through it. Kirk's had his struggles. Wilson's had his struggles. Get your money early. Get it while you can. You've had the performance. Now let's go through what's obviously he's 2019 first overall pick. So that has something to say for it in itself. He was the rookie of the year that season. He has 2 Pro Bowls under his belt and a Pro Bowl MVP. Nonetheless, he is a terrific dual threat quarterback. So what's not to love with Kyler Murray? Why won't the Cardinals sign him? Who knows? But like you said, I feel this might be Murray trying to say, hey, if you're not going to get this deal done, I want out. I want someone who wants me. They were able to move on from Josh Rosen so quickly. They could have to trade Murray, and he might try to force his way off the Cardinals if they don't want to play ball with him. And also the other big thing is he had a great start to the season. He hit a quick was it 8-0 start this season?
It started 7-0.
7-0. And they had a really hot, quick start. Murray played great the whole season. What do you think Murray trying to force his way out? Do you think that is a possibility? What do you think other teams might be looking for as far as that goes?
Yeah, so what Murray is probably thinking is obviously the Arizona Cardinals run Cliff Kingsbury's air raid offense, which leaves Murray having to run for his life a lot, right? They don't give him a lot of protection with the running backs. They don't do a lot of chipping with the tight end. They try and spread the field out with as many receivers and playmakers as possible. That means Kyler Murray has to do a lot of scrambling, means he takes a lot of hits. For a guy of Kyler Murray's stature, that's not ideal. So you know what? He looks at certain teams that have built their offenses around their quarterback's abilities. And I know a team that you think is very interesting here, and I do too, is the Philadelphia Eagles. They built their offense around Jalen Hurts, and they play their Hurts strength. Kyler Murray sees that and says, look, I want to go to some place that gives me the tools to be successful and plays to my strengths, and I don't have to run for my life because of the offense my coach plays. What do you have in Philly? What do you think about Philly as a destination?
So here's what I have about Philly. First of all, 3 first-round draft picks this season. Pretty big deal. They have the capital to get a 2-time Pro Bowler, Pro Bowl MVP, first overall pick in 2019, like Kyler Murray. They have the draft capital to trade for somebody like that because you're going to be spending at least 2, maybe 3 first-round picks and probably a quarterback swap in there as well. And one thing I see, Murray is a better Jalen Hurts. He's more dual threat, better arm, better all around than Jalen Hurts has been in his short time in Philadelphia. So I like that. I think Philadelphia has a relatively strong offensive line. I think with the drafting of, I believe it was Andre Dillard, it's gotten them to be a little bit stronger potential. We can see how that possibly grows, but they have a much better offensive line than the Cardinals potentially. They got a lot of weapons in their backfield. A good running back core. Some decent receivers, decent tight ends, but nonetheless, like you said, it's an offense that is built similarly to someone of Murray's strengths, and another quarterback needy team that I have seen put on the table is potentially the Denver Broncos, who have a ton of stuff going on. New ownership, possibly new management. They could be wanting to make a change. They're desperately in need of a quarterback right now. Murray could be a good fit for an offense in like Denver potentially. Do you have any thoughts on that?
Yeah, so the big things about Denver, right, is the rumor mill says they're all in on the Aaron Rodgers sweepstakes, but Kyler Murray is a very intriguing option. You brought it up because that division with guys like Pat Mahomes, with Justin Herbert, they've got young quarterbacks that are going to be around for forever. Aaron Rodgers is obviously not. He's at the end of his career. If you want to be the Denver Broncos and you want to compete for the next 3, 4, 5, 10 years in the AFC West, getting a guy like Kyler Murray in, especially with some of the weapons they have at wide receiver and tight end over there in Denver, that can be really, really explosive and really, really powerful for a long time in that division and give them a lot of success. So I think there's an opportunity there for Denver as well. And they've got some capital too, right? They've got some pieces they could trade as well.
I think 2 keys we look at with Denver, tight end safety blanket Noah Fant, great tight end. Newly minted offensive mastermind Nathaniel Hackett is in Denver. So that's a great coach-player combination to move in on right there. I think that also could set Murray up for some prolonged success. These are all very intriguing. Now, I think the last thing we need to think about is, in your opinion, does Arizona need to sign Kyler Murray? Are them playing hardball? Is that the right move? Or does Kyler Murray deserve to get this thing? Or should they wait and slow roll them, see what they can get?
So right now, here's the thing and the comparison I'll use is the Ravens, right? The Ravens have a historically last 20 years, good organization. They have a known commodity, good head coach. The Cardinals historically are not a good organization. We have no idea how good of a coach Cliff Kingsbury actually is. You know what Kyler Murray is. You need to sign him if you're the Arizona Cardinals and lock down a known good part of your organization. Even if you overpay a little bit more than you think it's worth, it's more important to get at least one of those right: organization, coach, and quarterback. At Arizona, the organization has issues. You don't know about Cliff Kingsbury. Kyler Murray is good. They need to lock him down. And Kyler Murray recognizes that, the Cardinals probably need him more than he needs them, but they're not acting like it. So I think that's why he's trying to potentially force his way out of there.
I think it's a really interesting story for us to follow in the coming weeks. And as always, we will keep you updated on any advancements in this exciting storyline. But nonetheless, that's all we have on this one.